had the Pens playing against the rival, the Caps, man. We had Sid and Ovi. I mean, all the stars were aligned. And shout out to the Valentine's Day because we saw the Pens put together a complete game today.
You think that's what it is?
I think it is, man. They're just so enamored with this lovers' holiday. They're so passionate about the red heart. They're so passionate about being somebody's Valentine that they wanted to go out there and put on a show. And they did that, man. I mean, I'm trying to think, how many firsts did we see? We saw them break a 21 game or 21 power play streak where they hadn't scored a goal on a power play. They did that today. We saw them get their first 2-goal lead of the season. I mean, just think about that, how far we've been in here and they haven't had a 2-goal lead at all this year. We saw that happen today. We saw 2 empty netter goals as well. I mean, come on, baby. What more do you want? We started fast. We looked good in the power play. We skated hard. I mean, everything looked good. And even our special teams from a defensive standpoint, our penalty kills were good. It was good.
Not bad.
I'm sorry,
yeah, not bad. They scored on that second
one for 6.
Yeah, they scored on the.
Yeah, they were 1. Was it 1 for 4 or 1 for 6? I want to say on the 1 for 4 on the power play. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, because their percentage was they popped it up on the screen. I think they're first in the league. It was like 37%.
Yeah,
so that's 1 out of 3. So we held them below our average. But that second one, dude, I could not believe that puck went in. It was off our own defenseman's stick.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was going in slow motion. They were replaying it in slow motion. I don't know how it was in live time, but that was frustrating because you're right. I thought they played the penalty kill kind of decent there. I mean, they had their chances, but what can you do with the Capitals in their power play?
Right. I mean, because, they talked about that was one of the emphasis that they put on the Caps when they were talking about them in the pregame about how dominant they've been in the power play and how we've struggled, in the power play, whether it's killing the penalty or killing the power play or it's trying to score in a power play. So to see it play out like that, where we end up going 1 for 2 in the power play, and then obviously they go 1 for 4, to me, I'm like, that is really good. Not only did you kill their penalties, but at the same time, you were able to take advantage of one of your opportunities. So compared to what we've been seeing from them, huge improvement, man. So that was my
especially
big
against
thing with
the Capitals.
Them. Yeah, and we know we talk about the top tier teams coming out of the East. We said, man, the Caps are up there, the Bruins are up there, and obviously we know the Lightning, what they can do. So to see them be able to do this against one of those upper echelon teams was good. And we got to shout out your boy Jari too, man. Shout out to your boy, man. He looked good today.
Huh? He played pretty
good, man.
So
absolutely, man.
You say complete game.
Yeah.
I go back and forth with that just because at some point it was 4-3 with like a minute left. And we were dominant in stretches. The frustrating part was letting them back in. It was like the Malkin defenseman slip up.
But this was the thing to me. When I saw it, I thought of it like this. 4-2, you have this big 2-goal lead. The goal that was scored on Malkin, literally, it looked almost like a lapse in just fundamentals at the end of it for him. I think
he fell asleep. Yeah, like
that's what it looked like. Because otherwise, he was in position, and Jari was in position to play off of him. But yeah, like he just, like you said, fell asleep at the wheel. But to me, I never thought that made the game out of hand. I never thought that they were coming back more so either, because outside of that, we never really saw them getting a ton of shots on goal either. We had more shots throughout the game. In each period, we were just being more aggressive. That's why, to me,
on the face-offs too, dominated the face-offs.
Absolutely. And it reminded me of their game, the last game they played against the Islanders, right? We said, man, they played 3 periods really good. And it was probably like that last 2 minutes where they kind of had that lapse and they ended up losing. To me, today was that, but they finished. When that third period hit, man, when they got that opportunity for an empty netter, they took advantage of it. When they had the opportunity to go up and get a 2-goal lead, they did that. And then even when Malkin let up that goal, they still responded. You saw Jari respond. You saw the team as a whole respond.
It could have been 4-4, I guess, right?
Absolutely. They could have easily said, man, all right, they done scored. It's a 1-goal lead now, man. You know they're about to come back. They could have easily done that, but they didn't. They responded in a major way. And that's why, for me, I was like, it looked complete, because I want to see you not just, do well when it's going well for you. How do you handle adversity? And we saw Jari handle adversity. We saw that team handle adversity. You think about how the first period went. You think about that second period. Even though we had went up, it still was competitive. We still had some moments, like you said, where it was like, all right, how are they going to respond to that? But they stepped up. And to me, that's a sign of a championship team. That's a sign of a team that can continue to win. If you fold in those type of situations, then yeah, how can I count on you when it's playoff time? How can I count on you when we got to have it later on in the season? So to me, that's why I was excited about it.
Sure. I guess we're just waiting for that 6-1 win or 6-2 win, as opposed to the 4-3, and then it becomes 6-3 because of the two empty net goals at the very end.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a win like that. Maybe at the beginning of the season where it was like 4-1 or 5-1.
No. I told you, we haven't had a double-digit lead on anyone. So all the games that we've won have been in overtime. Or I'm trying to think, 3 of them have been in overtime? And I think this is our second one that we won in regulation right now. Or it might be 4 in overtime, and this is the second one in regulation. Yeah, so we haven't had any of those games where it was just a flat out blowout, but we did talk about some of the reasons why. We said, man, you have Malkin playing bad early on. We talked about the goaltending a little bit early on as well. Then obviously you had the GM change. So it was a lot of variables that have played its role to this part. But seeing these 2 games back to back, looking the way that they've looked, to me, it's a step in the right direction.
No, 100%. Like, I was actually worried last night. I went out to B-Dubs. Had some beers, dude. I think on Monday or Tuesday is when I'm officially going to be clean eating, clean drinking here on out. So I wanted to get some beers in, just night out. Yeah. They had the Bruins Islanders game on, and I was watching. I think I actually watched the whole game. I bet.
Okay.
I bet on the Bruins whenever they were down 2-1. They came back 2-2. But then I actually started to look up the NHL standings, try to get familiar with our division.
I see you. I see you.
Dude, the Islanders are actually, they were at least yesterday, they were ahead of us in the standings. They probably still are now because we both got the win, so it evens out.
Yeah.
But the Bruins are head and shoulders above everyone else. I was getting worried because the Islanders looked awesome yesterday in their win against the Bruins, and there's only 4 teams coming out of this division. It's pretty much loaded. There could be 5 or 6 teams battling for those 4 spots.
Yeah.
And with how we've played up to this point, I was like, oh shit, something's got to give tomorrow. And we're playing the Capitals. So to everything you're saying, I'm really impressed just with the total game. There were spurts. Like, I hated those first 10 minutes. Felt like the Capitals dominated us. Albeit they were on the power play 2 times. We just didn't have any momentum.
Yeah. We had, the 2 penalties, right off the jump. Like, that was my thing. I'm like, we looked sloppy in that part of it. But the penalty kill was what made me feel a little bit better about it. I'm like, all right, if you're going to make, a couple dumb moves here, and all right, we got, 2 power plays, and we got to defend it. It's like, at least do what you do. And they did do that. So like I said, to me, that first period, I was still kind of like, all right, glass half full. I like this.
For sure. And then there was like 2 or 3 minutes where we were on the offensive end in those first 10 minutes of the first period where we had the puck for so much. We weren't getting any like legitimate shots on goal, though. It looks like we were just trying to skate around. So I had no hope for us doing anything, but then all of a sudden we had that beautiful play, Crosby with the passes, Russ, and then the momentum completely shifted. We scored right after that, and it felt like we had the game, and then it was just unfortunate. We let up another goal to make it 4-3. But I was very encouraged. I love the explosiveness on offense, how we could score like that. If we get the defense a little bit tighter, goalie a little bit tighter, that's all, man.
That's the biggest thing defensively right now because they have a ton of speed, and you see it every time they're on offense, man. Every time they get in the rush, it's like, dude, they are a problem. But for them, my biggest thing is simplify. Stop trying to do the spectacular, right? Stop trying to have the 4 pass, goal. You don't have to be like that. Get good quality shots, which we did see them in that second period and that third period start to get a lot more shots, which I feel like that's the best way to go about it instead of being so structured offensively. Man, and to me, when they start doing more of that, they play a lot better. And I thought today they did that. I thought today they didn't look as, not even, I don't want to say robotic, but just in uniform in terms of, all right, we have to pass here, to pass here, to pass here before we can get a shot. It like they were just letting it come to them and just taking the shots that were there. And to me, I think that's the best way this Pens team should play.
Sure. Yeah, I'm excited, though. I'm excited. I was worried last night. I'm like, I want to be rooting for the Pens because I'm enjoying watching them. So I want them to keep winning.
They're fun. They're fun right now,
But then when I'm looking at this division, I'm like, oh, shit. Today gave me hope.
Yeah. This is huge, man. But that's why we said every game matters. And that's why we talked about the move to the Ireland.
Isn't the NBA like 70?
No, it's 56. They're only 56 this year for NHL.
NHL. NBA's in the 70s. So like
70s,
NHL, man. Yeah, this regular season's crazy.
Yeah. So every game is going to matter. So that to me, I love because it as a viewer, we can enjoy it a lot more when this game matters. when you know when they play on Tuesday again, it matters. Like, that's all we want. I think even with baseball, I think viewership with baseball would be a lot better if the games were more significant.
110
right.
games.
Just you cut it down, man, make it more significant. Now I want to tune in. I don't want to tune in when I know this team could lose 60 times and still be fine. Like, I'm cool on that, man.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, man.